Right, good morning. Oh, soulmate card. I love seeing that card. This is going to be your oracle reading, 2-card oracle reading for Sunday, December 3rd. I hope everyone's having a really beautiful weekend so far. I took my little ones to see Santa yesterday, so they were all excited. Well, the older one wasn't. He's too cool for Santa now, but Faith was pretty happy. Really having an issue shuffling today. Like the last daily reading, I didn't think I was going to stop shuffling at all. Sometimes it's like that. Sometimes it's just, it could be me. It could just, you know, I didn't spend enough time and intention this morning opening myself up. All right. Okay. Deep rest, depression. Oopsies. Okay. Wow. There you go. Definitely starting to see a theme here. All right. Swords, if you don't know, swords are intellect, thoughts, beliefs, that kind of stuff. This is the mental fuckery kind of card. You know? Stuff that we really need to let go of, but we just keep picking up people that could be deceiving us. Maybe that's a fear of yours that you're needing to work through. You know, that somebody's, you know, that's a very real, and that would probably be generational or even past life related. If that's something that you're dealing with right now, is the feeling that people are always deceiving you. There's a reason for that. You know, we don't just, I mean, we kind of do just imagine them, but there's a reason why we do it. There's a reason why for everything. This card is always, might take a breather card. You need to rest. He's in deep rest. So you need to kind of lay down your swords, quiet your mind. You need to rest. You need to, and I don't mean rest like, you know, kick back and don't do anything today. Like, sorry, you're not getting a free ticket today. That was a few days ago. You should have listened then. This is, you need to quiet your mind. You need to go within yourself. That's what this is. And the reason for that is this card here. Either you're doing this to yourself or somebody else is doing this to you. But you're not going to find clarity on it until you go within. And I think once you do that, you'll find, you know, that a lot of these things, you know, come from a lot of different places. But they're all things that can be altered. You know, your brain is, the way I like to think about it is that it's like a big computer. And my brain always had the issue, like, you ever had like 30 tabs open at one time? That's how I feel my brain is, like, constantly. And it's always been like that. And it's kind of a hassle sometimes. But it's gotten a lot better. It takes really doing a lot of asking yourself questions and going within and being honest on why we feel these things. Sometimes we could just have built up, you know, some kind of belief, and it was just based on nothing. You know, these things are based on our perception of an event that happened, but when you go back and you relive an event, you can see it from a different perspective, And then you can change your thinking about it. You know, I've you know, done a lot of shadow work with, like, even old relationships. You know, you go back and you think it ended for one reason, but then when you go back, you realize, wow, there were a lot of other reasons this ended. There was a lot of other reasons that were my fault. You know, not everything is the other people, you know. I think you reach a level to where you can see that too. You can kind of, is that all fuzzy? I just realized, sorry, that's all fuzzy there. What was I saying? Oh, you know, like I've gone back and, you know, I thought, you know, working on some of my issues, and that it was them that kind of did it, but it wasn't. Like, going back and looking from a, you know, like a bird's eye view, when you pull yourself out of that emotional state that you're still connected to, and you go back into like a intellectual, like a bird's eye kind of view of the situation, you see a lot more. You can see how they felt. You can see things a little bit more clearly. Maybe you, because when you're in a situation, you're emotional, you're not seeing things clearly. That's why it's important to kind of take a step back and see it from a bird's eye view. That's why it's so important to, you know, do this work and to go back, because there's so much that you think you've seen and it was completely different to somebody else. You know, your perception is not the perception somebody else has. So, I mean, if you have this where you think people are deceiving you, or somebody is, you know, playing mind games with you, maybe they are. They might be. But you need to find out why it's affecting you. You need to get to a point where people can do this stuff, but it doesn't faze you. There's some kind of something that you're still believing about yourself, or still believing about somebody else, that is allowing you to focus on this, and what we focus on will grow. So if you're focusing on people deceiving you, if you're focusing on people, you know, fucking with your mind, guess what's gonna happen? And the reason for that is so you can integrate it, you can heal it, you can release it, and you can move on. That's what we're doing here. You know, and this isn't an easy journey. These are things that we're having to clear for entire generational lines, bloodlines. Like, you're clearing out bloodlines, and that's not easy. Yeah, just, you have to just lay down your sword and just think about things from a different point of view. If you're working with shadow work, with, you know, instances that happened with other people, if you know that, you know, there's an instance you need to heal from another person, go back and try to see it from their point of view. No matter how much, you know, you would like to be in your feels about this, don't. Go back and see what their point of view was. That was one of the game changers for me in my shadow work, was seeing the point of view of the other person involved in the situation. That usually helped me diffuse a lot of the emotions that I would have. So give that a try. Hopefully that'll help you. It helped me. But there's definitely a reason why you feel these ways. You just have to figure out what they are. You know, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with, you know, you are always going to be working on yourself. Hate to tell you, but you're always going to be working on yourself if you're doing it right. I plan on having to work on myself the rest of my life, and that's fine, you know, because I'm always going to want to be a better version of myself. Even when I accomplish something, you know, you think you're going to accomplish something that's, oh, that's it, you've done it. No, then it's just, that's great. Now I want something else. Now I'm going to do something else. But, you know, that's how we learn. That's how we evolve. That's how we grow. That's how we become better versions of ourselves, and that's important to do. We can't just stay stagnant our whole life, you know, and expect growth. You can't just expect growth. It takes tending. It takes, you know, attention. You know, you have to weed the garden. You have to water it. You have to fertilize it. You have to feed it. You have to do a lot to grow a healthy garden, you know? And that includes going in, pulling out all the shit that doesn't serve you. It has to be done. It's not fun at first. And I know that sounds weird. It's not fun at first. But after you do it and you kind of learn the sequence of events that comes from doing this work, it's worth it. You learn to love the pain. You learn to, you know, realize that in pain is your greatest lessons. You know, you're going to find a lot out about yourself, and you're going to feel better. Like I said, you don't really notice a lot of things when you're too happy, because we usually take being happy for granted. You usually don't realize how happy you were until you're sad, which is a shame, you know. You should realize how happy you are every day, how grateful you are to be alive, you know. All right, do the work. If you need a personal reading, you can go to my website, divinedestinytarot.com, click on shop. If you just want to have a quick rundown of all the readings I've done today, go to my Instagram, divinedestinytarot1111. I hope everyone has a really great rest of their weekend. I hope this was able to help you. Don't be afraid to go and do the work. You know, every step, no matter how little, is still a step in the right direction. Keep that in the back of your mind. All right. Bye, everyone.